All right, Patreon subscribers, over. Back. Back. No, back. So, what we're gonna do in this video is I'm just gonna show you what I've been doing with Joe. And I was just explaining to my clients out in Iowa that, you know, once the dog actually starts to put the pieces of the puzzle together in reference to like how dogs learn, so like that's why it's super important to start formulating the learning process for them and create these patterns for them and teach them a marker system, because we're essentially teaching every single behavior the same way. Sit down, spin, all these actual formed behaviors, orbit. There's a process to it, right? The dog just doesn't understand crawl, right? So in this video, we're gonna teach a little bit about, or at least how I've been showing Joe how to crawl. Now, I like to use something like this, which gives us the opportunity for the dog to like already sort of like go under the deal. And this goes back to, how do dogs learn? They learn by doing them a lot. And you could really create and paint a clear picture for them if you're marking and paying sufficiently. So like at the beginning, like for example, if I have Joe Platz, I click and pay the Platz. I put the food to her nose. I get her to crawl one little bit, bam, and pay that much. So there's a process to it, right? So it's incrementally. I'm going to pay her. I'm going to pay her for every little fucking, you know what I mean? That one little crawl right there. I have to pay for that. All right. And this goes back to what I was just saying. How do we get them to do it? We get them to do it a lot. But we're also painting a very clear picture for them with the timing of the marker and the timing of the payment. So again, Platz, go to pay. I'm gonna just step back. She's gonna crawl that much. So very incrementally, very, very, very small little victories. And then you could get her to do that much and then pay. You guys see what I'm trying to tell you right now? I know I'm kind of having a hard time explaining this. Over, Platz, crawl, boom, and pay. So she does 3 little things and pays. Back, 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 Platz, crawl. She kind of cheated a little bit. Maybe I need to lower this a little bit more. Over, Platz, good, crawl. So I actually don't really need to be attaching the sound to this yet, because we're still forming the behavior, and I don't necessarily need to name it yet, because I still have so many reps to go with her doing the act of crawling. And then, somewhere down the road, I can now attach a sound to it, because eventually I want to get it to, Platz. So we have Platz just on verbal, Platz. So we have Platz on verbal. The next thing I want to do is I want to be like, crawl. Oh, she almost did a little bit right there. Did you guys see what I'm trying to say here? Back, back. And same with back. So, back. She takes one step back. I'm going to mark and pay that. Back. She's itching right now. Stand. Back. 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 Good. And that's that. Listen, that little incremental thing I'm telling you about, that's how we got to this point. Break. Break. That's how we got to this point. All right? So get up there. Get up there. Back. 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 Good. So you see how she actually kind of got over the whole entire thing? I didn't just start like that. I started with very small wins by putting the food to her face, pushing back. She goes backwards and I pay her. She goes backwards and I pay her. And then eventually I just started attaching a sound to the act of backing up over this thing. Right? Back, 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 boom. So at one point, that was our world record. I'm just showing you for an example that I don't expect her to formulate the whole entire thing until I've actually shown her with these small incremental wins and paying for those incremental wins. And there's really nothing fancy. There's really nothing tricky about that. But that's a little off topic. Not really, because I'm just kind of like describing how it is that we're teaching crawl, back, Platz, crawl, crawl, boom, pay. So eventually you guys will see that I could get her to crawl on command. I'm going to put her in a down first, and then I'm going to ask her to crawl. We're obviously not there yet, because we still have a ton of work to do. And I think if I had to pick one important thing to point out about all of this, is that none of this happens without a daily effort. The ability to formulate a very clear picture for them so that they understand what you want from them, the timing of your payments, and the incremental victories. Those are the 3 things to take away from this video. Thank you so much for being here, Patreon subscribers. I love you so much. Heel. Finish. No. Heel. No. Heel. Good. What the fuck, Joe? We're rusty. It's been like 5 days. There you go. 5 days. You just saw that shit. Rusty as shit. She knows the heel position. She was just like crusty about it. So what we do is we make sure that we get that shit sharpened up again. I'm gonna put my hand out here. She's gonna follow it. Look at my eyes. Break her to this side. I don't want her looking for where the food comes from. So hey, heel. Good. Yeah. Good. So anyway, thanks guys. I love you. If you have any questions or anything like that, let me know in the comments. Peace.